here today with Ed Hogan of Brookfield Properties. He's going to discuss the new Brookfield place. How many towers at World Financial Center? All four or just
four? Yeah.
And you're renovating all four for that project?
We're renovating the first two floors of the entire center.
Okay.
Well, the World Financial Center, which is formerly known, it's now known as Brookfield Place, is an 8 million square foot mixed-use project. It encompasses 4 office towers connected by 2 levels of retail. And our project, which is underway, is a $250 million renovation of the retail. And most retail centers over time need to be updated. Given all the infrastructure and all the changes in the neighborhood and all the investments in the property surrounding our neighborhood, it was the ideal time to make the investment in our project and bring it up into our day.
Was there one sort of anchor store, like a mall model, or is the anchor really the community? Was there one domino that fell that then made, because I've been following you, like I didn't see any progress for a while, and then all of a sudden one signing after another. What made those dominoes fall?
It's just been constant. Part of it's timing. People don't sign until the project is so many months out.
Okay.
So a lot of it is you'll see a lot more dominoes falling in the next few months.
How much more is there? How many more stores are there to be announced?
Well, we've only announced the fashion tenants. I think we've only announced 10 today. So there's plenty more to announce.
Wow.
So we're going to be announcing them.
So this is going to be a lot bigger than we even know now.
Yes.
Wow. Like Hermes was, they have a location in Financial District. Do you know if they're leaving that, or are they going to?
They're going to have 2.
Okay. Right. So the interesting part to me is Goldman Sachs did their own thing right across the street, where they have some restaurants, but not retail. Some of those are kind of you're going to be competing with them, right? Like the Better Burger, the barbecue.
I don't think we're competing with Goldman Sachs at all. I think Goldman Sachs has been a great neighbor.
Right.
What Goldman did was prove before we did it that you could renovate an existing property in the neighborhood, and the community would embrace it. So one of the things we're doing from our original plan to today, we actually have less restaurants in our new plan, but we have more shops. So we have the critical mass of shops that we definitely needed to get to where we're going. And by Goldman putting restaurants in there, we were able to have less restaurants and more shops.
Right.
So we've put our restaurants strategically across the street from the Goldman restaurants on VC Street. So VC will be a row of choices, really great restaurants. We've signed Harm. They have Steven Starr coming in. They obviously got Danny Meyer there. So, and there's a lot of great restaurants that people can come to, and it's a neighborhood of restaurants, which would be an anchor to the whole, both projects as all.
So the upper towers are still occupied by large corporations, American Express and so forth. Not major renovation there, but your projects are from what floors up to?
It's primarily the first and second floor.
And the
Winter Garden. What we're doing is we're basically demolishing the first 2 floors of the building. We had an inward-facing mall, and we're really stripping the first 2 floors off the whole building, creating a retail streetscape, putting retail storefronts, entrances into the various shops, and really making the center welcoming to the entire community. The goal is really to take what is a 25-year-old project and transform it into what will be the most exciting waterfront community in Manhattan. There's very few spots in Manhattan where you can get to the water.
Right. Now, why now? Because there's overall there's plenty of commercial real estate, so I might say a glut. What made you undertake this, especially with across the street millions of square feet of the World Trade Center? What made you do this now?
Well, our center is 25 years old, and we're Class A landlords, and you have to continuously reinvest in your properties to keep them current. We felt with all the investment being made in our neighborhood, it was time.
So other projects like the new Goldman Sachs, it was
time to bring. We continuously reinvest in our projects every way. But really, what changed our mind on this project, or actually allowed us to put more money into it than we might have normally, is the transformation of downtown. Mm-hmm. You now have 60,000 people living south of Chambers Street. The population of Tribeca, and that's a really dense and wealthy residential population. And people like to shop where they live, and for the people that are living in Tribeca and downtown, there aren't many options. They have to leave their community. So we were looking at this as an opportunity to capture those residents and pull them in. We know that tourists like to go where New Yorkers go. And if we create a space that's special to the people that live downtown in Tribeca, the tourists will want to partake in that. And
overall, it's a high demographic. The average net income of Battery Park in Tribeca is pretty high, some of the highest in the country. You have Citigroup, you've got Goldman Sachs. So the reason I'm mentioning that is, how have you been so successful at getting these A-list tenants? Mention some of them. And how are you able to do that when other projects have not been able to do that?
Well, in terms of A-list tenants, I'll stick to the retail component. To date we've signed Hermes, Ferragamo, Zegna, Burberry, and
also Jones Day.
In the office,
yeah.
We've signed Jones Day. But from the retail standpoint, you get those tenants by creating the right environment for them to be in. So understanding their business, understanding their customer, proving to them that their customer's here and that it's an unmet demand, and then physically giving them the space that they desire. So, luxury tenants want high visibility storefronts. They need sizes that are right size and shape. They need floor to slab ceiling heights.
So this facility has the good infrastructure. They like the windows and the size and so forth, but it's also in a good location. It's where they think they'll do business.
Right, and it's an underserved community. Just downtown by itself is, you have 300,000 office workers. There's not too many central business districts where you have that type of population. The population coming downtown post 9/11 rivals most of the busiest tourist venues in the world. It's
a very underserved population. We've always had a demand for, as long as I've been here, for this, and no one ever really stepped up to do it. I think you're going to have a big success.